So, okay, not just say, well, I have this knee pain, I'm going to treat you. Now maybe the patient was trying to tell you, well, maybe I really want to retire from playing sports, but I'm afraid to tell my family, my coaches to. But if you're really a good doctor, you can pick it up and you can encourage him to quit, maybe, for example. And sometimes I think as not just a doctor, but I'm a chairman. I take care of 160 doctors, okay? And sometimes I can see doctors that are really do not want to be a doctor. They were forced into being a doctor because the mom and dad think you should be a doctor because it's a famous profession, you can make money and those kind of things. All right, so there's a question always asked by me, oh, you're going to make a lot of money. Don't worry about it. I can guarantee you that in life, you make enough money to be happy. Okay, this is most important. So if you are forced into this profession, that means you will be unhappy. And this is the problem we have. So I have helped a few doctors to quit being a doctor, to quit. I have advised medical students, maybe this is not what you want to really do, because I can see what they are talking and doing is not exactly what they want to do. They have other talents. They can do beautiful things with the computer. They can do other things in, marketing, things like that. But maybe this is a profession that you need to care for patients. You need to make the patient your number one. Your number one, okay? All the time. So this is what you need to do without any reservation. You have to go off of it. It's not like part-time or little bit for that. So you have to think deeply. So I think this system, if you're going to go to medical school directly, sometimes you may miss the opportunity to understand yourself a little more. Okay? But if you go to overseas, to America, another country, you have a chance to really explore college, interact with people, and you also have a lot of choices. So in our system here, British system, then you go to science or arts right away, or it is. But in just like you can see, Leo Chan and Chen Gali was engineering, but he loved music so much he actually he quit that and went to the Indiana Music School and did a PhD right now. He knows what he wants. Basically, this is what he loves. So yeah, if you think about it, it's exactly what you do, okay? So, like I say, to be a doctor is long hours. It's not simple. You have to be available. There are different kind of doctors. If you're like a surgeon like me, a sport doctor, you have to be available quite a bit. Other doctors, radiologists, or you be a psychiatrist, you may not be as demanding in terms of hours. But there's no difference, and you still have to care for your patient as much as you can. So I think I will start with that, and maybe if there's no question, I can do. Any question from you?
Freddie, what about health sciences? I mean, that's a really big growth area. When you went into it, sports science wasn't a big deal. Now, physiotherapy, sure. There's a whole range of them. You talk a little bit about other alternatives, because they're not going to go directly into medicine, but they still want to go into health sciences.
So actually, in Pittsburgh, where I go, there's a school of medicine, but there's a school of allied health science. And then they have physiotherapy, which is a very good field. You can also take care of patients, essentially giving back for them from injuries and also from sickness. That if they're really sick, when they come back, you need some rehabilitation to get them walking and things like that. So it's a very good field to get into. I think in Hong Kong there's a school of therapy in the technology, in the Polytech.
Yep.
In fact, I know the person who opened the school right there, a lady from Canada. In fact, I was there from the very beginning. In fact, in the whole China and Hong Kong, 15 years ago, there was only therapy school. And there's no therapy school in China at all. So it's a few, I don't know how competitive it is in Hong Kong. But I think but in China, they're trying to get into more Western style therapy too. But I think overseas, you can find different therapy schools in Australia, England, Europe, and America are quite good. So usually it's, again, in America you have to finish kind of college and get into a few years too. So all these professional schools in healthcare, many times you require you to have a basic degree. The reason why is that is because they want you to be broadened your mind. So you can relate to the patient, variety of patients. Okay? You can communicate with different level of people as you can relate to them better. Now the other profession is something called a occupational therapist. It's like physical therapy, but they are dealing with more with the occupation. For example, if you get industrial injury, to get you back. Many times hand injuries, for example, they will help you to get back to hand. You can cut fingers off and things like that, how to get back. Now one profession I think this happened in the Hong Kong system, or British system, is something called a physician assistant. So these people are trained to help doctors, almost like a nurse, but a little bit different, to take care of patient in a way that they can even scrub in the surgery. You have the patient, almost with the patient, with the doctors, in the clinic, as well as the operating room. So you are almost 24/7 related to the doctors. Then there are nurses who can take care of patient in the hospital, in the clinic. Also there's something called nurse practitioner. You can almost be a doctor, make a diagnosis, but if you have a more difficult problem, then you can ask the doctor for consultation. So those, and I think this, I told you, a trainer also is a kind of a system that you learn more about athletic injury. Usually work with some teams, so you understand the problem with sports injury and how the player can recover from injuries, relating to the coaches, relating to the team doctors and things like that. So there's a variety of portal you can enter into this health profession. So maybe I can open it for questions. I can talk all day, but I think that you probably want to ask questions. But don't be shy, like Kenny told you, don't be shy. So how many of you want to go into a medical profession? Anybody raise their hand? You want to, so any specific thing you are interested in? You want to go to Hong Kong U?
Yes. I want to ask how do you sustain your passion or your enthusiasm in the medical center or the set of healthcare service?
Yeah, I think just like I say, the first slide I had is do what you love. So you have to love your patient. You have to love how to deal with people. You have to help. We want to help other people's problems. And some people do not like that. So I have students that love the computer. They will be in front of a computer, they're very good doing it, but they have absolutely no interest in dealing with patients. In fact, one of them, I told them they should even do an internship or a residency. Maybe they should go into healthcare profession to deal with medical records and other things with computerization. So to be a doctor treating patients, you should have this care, worry. You should worry about people. So if you don't have the worry nature, you probably will be missing something as a doctor. So for example, I just got a call from America. Somebody is dying. They're not my patient, but somebody I know. Okay, so basically, you have to worry about it. You can think about it. Not just somebody is dying, but what can we do? Maybe to help this particular individual, somebody. So you think about it all the time. So and I train a lot of people. I train 1,500 people in my lifetime. And one of the people always tell me, they come to my clinic, and I have patients, they come to see me 20 years earlier. They come back to see me, and without looking at the charts, many times I can remember exactly what happened, the family and the kids and all those things, and father, mother. And I think those are natural, I would say, not that I'm great or what. But if you enjoy those patients, if you think this is something that you want to do, this comes very natural to you, to me, then I should remember that in some way, Not everybody, of course, many of them, the people, say that. So I always tell my trainees that, hey, this is what you should aim for, because I think that if you're truly interested in somebody's problem, this should come natural to you. This is exactly what you learn about. So, like I said, you can do books, you can do your organic chemistry really high score, all those things. Maybe you can treat the patient in terms of, scientific way, the best you can, but you have to relate to the people. And everybody is different. That's the key. Okay. everybody different. The same medication may work different to you than you. Then you have to realize, you have to think about all those type of things in life. Okay? So I think it's a good profession you should go into. But like in America, the medical profession is changing because the healthcare cost is really high in America, better than in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is probably reasonable. In America, it's almost 60 to 80% of the gross national product. So it's uncontrollable. So we're wasting a lot of money, basically, for unnecessary treatment, things like that. So I think in Hong Kong, you probably have a better shot in controlling costs. In medicine, about anywhere from 20 to 40% of our treatment is not necessary and wasteful. The doctors, industry, create those treatments to make money. Okay? I said to tell you that. But this is the world, and this is the world how it works. Always want a higher margin and things like that. So actually, my job, anytime as a professor, is to tell my trainees do not use unnecessary treatment. Give you an example. If some of your relative is dying, for example, so everybody in Hong Kong will say, we'll do everything so the patient won't die. Something like that, okay? But sometimes people will just die. In fact, everybody die. Nobody have not, live forever. Now, unless you go to heaven, it's different. But on earth, everybody die. So the question is, how much resources do we give? A lot to somebody dying, and basically, those treatment probably completely will be useless to really getting the condition better. In fact, sustaining a life, for example, to make it worse. To make the quality of life much worse. So if you are brave and smart, then you should so-called palliative treatment. You should do things that make the patient feel good enough to sustain the life, but then you don't have to use chemotherapy and all surgery to sustain something maybe even worse than you can do. Okay? So if you're a doctor, you think about all those things. This is treat. Okay? This is why you have to have some more emotional quotient like Teddy has. I know he likes doctors. He sees doctors all the time. Maybe this is he pays a lot of money. But basically, you really have the emotional relationship to the patient, to the environment, to make this recommendation. In the first semester, I took 3 courses. Biology, which I took the basic one out, I took the higher course. Because, I do examination. I took English 5, which I do a book called Periodic Loss. I don't know if you know that, okay? And the third one, I forget what I did. But anyway, I was a top student in English 5. Okay, incredible, I couldn't believe it. And then the biology, I also top one in both classes. Because I tried so hard, I did not know what is good or bad. So I'll give you an example. So they told me to analyze a poem. The poem is called 7 Ways to Look Good, Black Book. I have no idea what it is. So I went to the library, I spent 3 days looking everything about 7 Ways to Look Good, Black Book. Probably about 50 different field writing. So I wrote this paper. And the professor said, my God, this is the best paper I've ever written. I didn't even type. But I don't think my classmate even do that. Because he says, wow, I know about this, just type something. So I do not know what I expect.
Right.
Now for biology, it's very interesting. So I took this ecology course. I took a ocean liner to America. It took 3 weeks. So on the boat, I bought this book by Gilly. I don't know if it's still 6 VILI. So it's those are the Bible of biology. So I read it, page to page. All my classmates read it to Hong Kong U. Okay? I didn't read it very well, but I did it on the boat. So I passed this, initial test. So when this student do this test, I have no idea what I expect. So the teacher was telling me that, wow, ecology changed the whole world. For example, the fish changed in the Great Lake of America, the Michigan, now is different fish than 10 years ago. So they give you slides and papers, and I think, well, we have to do a little more. What is more? So actually, I went to this paper, I looked at the author. And I call him on the phone. At the time, you have to pay money to call a phone. I say, are there any newer information on all this ecology since you wrote a paper 5 years ago? So he sent me 20 new findings. So when I wrote the paper, the professor said, my God, how do you know this? I always tell my people, don't say no, find the differences, like if you look at those differences, you're going to do well. And all those techniques are learned right here in Singapore's college. I'm not doing it just by myself because I can see, like Secto and all those top boys. This is how they work. Although I wasn't doing my job at the time, I was doing other things having fun, okay? But I know how to do it, so I actually try harder. And so in Dartmouth, they give something called citation, which is more than an A. So I was giving it 2 citations in the first term. This is why I did the medical school only, because nobody gets 2 citations the first term. So I did. And I forget what the first class is. So I think all of you can do it too. There's nothing sacred or magical about it. It's just you have to think and try harder to do something. And this is what it's all about. Not that I'm better than anyone else. I'm sure my English really is not that great. My grammar has to be checked out very carefully compared to somebody who can just type, who actually, many of my classmates actually wrote for the newspaper in the high school, they can just type on the newspaper right away. I had to hire some old lady to pay him like 75 cents to type a page, and I had to correct it and things like that. Much more work. So this is what it's all about. Anything is about your passion, you're trying hard, and this is what you're interested in. So for the English 5, I think I learned a lot about all this incredible thing about English, which I never learned before. And actually, after I get that citation, it gave me confidence to move ahead to be better too. Okay, my God, I can be as good as Henry Horn or Secto or Terry. Do those people? I mean, I couldn't believe I can. So this is why. So every year, in the 3rd year, they took 2 students into medical school from Dartmouth, and I wanted 1 or 2 to pick. I mean, they don't have to go through the 4th year. They're early admission, so I did that year. So this is what it's all about. So you have to try harder. So I encourage you, don't be afraid, like Penny told you. Go and try. It can be a mistake. It's okay, At that time, I have nobody advising me. I have nobody to call. I just did it myself. It was a good thing you asked me about it. So.
Look, you might not, there's only one number 1 guy in any class, right? But if you take the experience from Dr. Freddie, you can be the guy who rides the top.
You definitely can be.
You can be that guy.
Absolutely, because I come from Singapore, which was I was below students, and now I went to Dartmouth, which is Ivy League school, supposed to be hard to get in, and not that they are very good students, I'm sure, but they do not try as hard as I do. I think we already have the brain power to get there. It's just you have to put in the effort. And same for patient care.
Yeah.
I mean, same for patient care. How do you do to get the best for the patient? I mean, what the patient want to come back to see you for better care? I mean, this is what it's all about. This is all about. You really care for them. You remember everything they do. I still have patients who see me 30 years later, 34 years later. It's a long, long time. So, but like I say, there are many fields that are very good. May not be medicine. So, like dentistry, so that one is right here. It's a very good field to really talk into that. Another very good field to get into. So you can do many, many different things to be successful. No question.
All right, now, thank you very much for that sharing. I'd like to get Henry and Terrence to come down and give you and Tenny just a couple of souvenirs for your visit here today. And where's our basketball guys? Up the back. Come on down here. You got the 100-point man himself, right? Come on down here. I'd like you guys to also give a gift to Dr. Freddie and Tenny. Tenny, come on down. Tenny, come on down.